is what it is. The truth. And the truth will set you free.
Let's talk about it!
Examining the Truth with your host, Ibrahima Amadou and Fatima Jallo Gibba.
All I wanted to know, are you really better?
Yeah, the relationship that we've been able to establish with this country is incredible. You know, we've been here for 3 years in the Gambia now. 3 years.
Today.
Wow.
Seems like yesterday.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's our talk show, a talk show that we've developed so we can have conversations about our experience at coming to Africa. It's nothing like anything that we would have ever imagined. It's nothing. I can't even begin to tell you the information that we had about Africa before we came. All of it. All the information that I got. I mean, it was some accurate things because of going into deep study. But on the average, we don't have a clue of what's going on over here.
You know, one of the reasons is because you have to be here in the vibration.
You have to have the experience.
Yeah, you have to actually be in the experience and look beyond what may seem correct. You know, it's that raw, authentic
You know,
experience.
I'd have to compare it to when you're in the States and they talk Mexican food, and if you've ever experienced Mexican food, real Mexican food, then you know what that's really about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like having real Mexican food and then going to Taco Bell.
Yes.
And then Taco Bell says this is Mexican food. Not even close.
Not even close.
So a life, like they say Black Lives Matter, those titles, things like that, confuse us a little. But because that's a term that everyone understands, here in Africa, Black lives really matter.
They really do.
And all lives matter here. For example, the police don't even brandish guns. They don't wear weapons.
Neither do they have cars.
What's great about here, as I love, is the communal living. Is everyone they handle their own matters.
Yes.
Very seldom a police officer has to handle matters here. It has to be extreme. The people, the community handle their own matters.
That's important.
Very important. Since we arrived at the Gambia 3 years ago today, we had the pleasure of, and displeasure at some times, of getting into the real rural life of the Gambia. They call it the provinces. Living amongst the poor. Mm-hmm. You know, poverty in the U.S. and poverty here is two different things. And we got the opportunity to experience even that as well. And it turned into wealth.
Yes.
We'll explain that at another time because it goes real deep. Today is just we're really celebrating, playing some music. And you know me, playing Keith Sweat, Lord have mercy. Now, you know that ain't my thing, but... And with all the luxury we live with in the States, and they have here, running water, you know, showers, you know, everything they have in the States. But we had the pleasure of moving because we inherited land, like the prophecy speaks of. We inherited land with a family, and that goes deep. We found roots, we found connections, like the Kunta Kinte story, but this is the real story. You know, I'm Kunta Kinte for that matter. Gibba is in the States, which we have been there way before it was a colony, before it became states. Gibba. I discovered Gibba here, which is our best kept secret in America. But anyway, the pleasure of being able to come here, live with the people, experience with the people, learn the language, I haven't gotten it down yet, trust me.
But
it's
I have.
Fortunately, they speak English here too.
Only because of the marketplace. I mean, when I go to the marketplace.
Oh, the ladies make sure you learn.
They will not speak English to me.
Oh my! But it's been beautiful.
It
Our
has.
experiences. There's been some tragic stories, some bad stories of people that have come here from the States and from the UK. Ours was prophetic. Every step of the way of me coming here and us agreeing to come here is according to prophecy. We have marching orders, and had it not been for that, we would not be here. I wouldn't come here under my own guise, under my own pretenses, under my own desires or even beliefs. It's according to biblical research, history, historical research, my bloodline, the lessons my grandmother taught me when I was a baby. I'm living all of that today, right now. And it's extraordinary because it's not a standard way of understanding or living. But Delaware, I love you, Wilmington, Delaware, my hometown. I love you. You've always been African. You've always had an African consciousness.
I've heard that.
Delaware is.
I've heard that.
I love Delaware.
I can't wait to go.
It's a tough nut to crack.
I've heard
love
so
it.
many
Well,
wonderful
because it's
stories about
family. It's family. I don't care what you say about it, good or bad. Delaware is family, man. Thick and thin. You know, we struggle, we fight, we get along, we create things. And Delaware is a very difficult place to rise up in if you don't have finances, if you don't have the proper education and things. That's why I love it so much, because our people have learned to live and develop and commune and get along and grow in the midst of it's almost like living in an iron like cage and still have to grow a plant, make life out of it.
It sounds as if Delaware has done what used to be the tradition, even from Louisiana to California. We used to have that type of community, you know, where everybody was, you spend the night at each other's house, you know, the lady next door could whip you behind just like the next one.
Yeah.
You know, but somewhere along, something happened along the way that we lost that, and it sounds like Delaware maintained that, so thank you, Delaware.
Well, I believe that they kept it for the longest. I know for me, you know, I can't lie, they kept it for me, my family, you know, the community, even the politicians. Most of them, even though they've been manipulated in a lot of many ways, like all of us, they always held on to something, like the root of things, just like here in Gambia. That's the amazing thing. Oh my God. But the incredible thing of coming here was it was prophetic. And the day we left was the first day of Corona, and then we arrived here. Wow. I knew that was coming. I felt it. The Lord spoke to my heart. But anyway, since that time, we've experienced like a new reality in our lives, spiritually. There are things that my grandmother, like I said, my grandmother raised me in church, but she taught me about Africa and the kings and the queens. So I associated that with the Bible. I associated that with our conditions in the States, that one day we would return and that we would be children, not just children, I mean a nation under God, under Allah, whatever powerful, supremic name you want to identify our Heavenly Father with. This was the day, and we're living in this day right now.
Well, the fact that you were able to get that information, like I got the information, but there was no connection to Africa. The Bible that I looked in didn't have black people in them. Everyone was white.
The Budweiser series is what made that connection for me. The Budweiser series.
So I never knew I was Hebrew. I never knew that I was the Israelite and a child of God. I never knew.
It is what it is. The truth. And the truth will set you free.
Let's talk about it.